I'm Casey Claiborne, and thanks for watching this CrimeWatch YouTube exclusive, where we took a look back at recent crime stories that have been making headlines in our area. A family is in mourning, and police are searching for a hit-and-run driver who killed a mother and her son and injured 4 others. The crash happened around 11:30 on the morning of August 26th at the intersection of Hero Way and the 183 toll road in Leander. Fox 7 Austin's Angela Shin find police are looking for witnesses and dashcam video to help them reconstruct the crash.
August 26 was 69-year-old Avelina Osorio Lopez's birthday. The same day she and her son, 35-year-old Jose Luis Rebollar Osorio, lost their lives.
They sang the happy birthday in the morning, and I guess they were doing some celebration for the night. I mean, what can happen in a few seconds? And what happened? It happened really bad.
Francisco Puebla is the general manager at the restaurant Jardín Corona, where many family members work. Avelina was his aunt and Jose Luis was his cousin.
She's my mom's second cousin, and when I see her, I saw my mom. They're the nicest people I ever know.
He says Avelina and her husband were visiting their children in the U.S. before going back to Mexico.
It's really sad to see what I saw. It's something that we're never ready for.
The crash happened here at the intersection of Hero Way and the 183 toll frontage road. Police say the suspected driver ran off southbound on 183.
Officers responded to an upside-down Suburban and then a silver RAV4 that was also damaged.
Police say Jose Luis was driving the RAV4 and Avelina was in the front passenger seat. 2 adults and 2 children, all part of the same family, were taken to hospitals. Francisco says Avelina's husband was still in the hospital as of Tuesday afternoon. Police say a passenger in the Suburban was also taken to the hospital. 2 other cars had minimal damage. Officers say while the driver of the Suburban is still at large, there's no threat to the public.
He fled immediately from a crash. There were no weapons displayed or any violence like that sort of thing. He fled the scene, so he was trying to get away. We are working on identifying him.
Investigators are still working to figure out the cause of the crash.
So we have an accident reconstruction team that's working on all that. So they're figuring out the angles, speeds, that sort of thing.
As police look for more information,
anybody that saw the crash or has dash cam video of it, that would be a great help.
Family members say they want to bring their loved ones' remains back to Mexico and are grateful for the support they've gotten.
We're still in shock. We're here for them, and we thank the community.
The family has started a GoFundMe account to help with funeral expenses. You can find that link by clicking on the link above. Police say charges are expected for the driver who ran off. If you have any information, call police. You can be anonymous. A Kingsland family is asking for help identifying the hit-and-run driver of a semi-truck who killed their loved one a year ago. Fox 7 CrimeWatch reporter Meredith Aldis has their story.
Trucks come and go at this gas station in Kingsland, and family members wonder, could one of the drivers be the person who killed their loved one?
Anytime I see a semi, I'm like, was it that one? Was it that one? And it's not right to have to constantly guess and feel like you're stuck in a loop with no way out.
24-year-old Ian Lewis was a cashier at Buddy's.
He was a goofball.
He was definitely a goofball.
On August 27th, 2022, Lewis, his son, girlfriend Michelle, and her daughter were driving home from a concert in Austin.
We went to get on I-35 and we're rear-ended. And while trying to get insurance information, a semi sideswiped the truck and the car that rear-ended us and killed Ian. It's an image that'll never go away.
The driver never stopped.
I don't know how that person can still live with themselves knowing they did what they did. I mean, it makes me angry. Because if I did something like that, I can't live with myself.
It's now been a year. The family business continues without Lewis and no answers.
I can't lose hope that this person either is going to, say, hey, this is what I did. I need to turn myself in. I need to make this right. I can't lose hope of that.
In hopes she and her family can start healing.
Not having answers is one of the hardest parts about it, because you feel stuck and everybody just keeps walking on with their life. And it just makes you want to scream. Because it's not fair.
You took somebody's family member. You took a father from his child. That's not fair. You need to come forward.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
All eyes are on the trial of DeAndre White, who's accused of killing 25-year-old Douglas Cantor and injuring 14 others in a mass shooting on 6th Street in June of 2021. White is on trial for first-degree murder and 14 counts of aggravated assault. Investigators say the shooting was the result of a confrontation between White, his friends, and another group of teenagers from Killeen. 100 potential jurors were brought in to be questioned by both the state and defense attorneys. 14 jurors will eventually decide this case. Previously, Fox 7 spoke with Cantor's family as well as White's attorney.
Watching him walk into a courtroom, I'd rather he was dragged out in a body bag than walk into that courtroom. The kid has no business being alive.
From the beginning has maintained his innocence, and we look forward to all the evidence coming out. He is not guilty of the murder that he's charged with.
This trial is expected to take about 2 weeks. If found guilty, White faces between 5 to 99 years in prison. San Marcos police are investigating a shooting that sent an off-duty Kyle police officer to the hospital. San Marcos police say just after midnight on August 27th, they responded to the Encino Point Apartments on Post Road. The off-duty cop was working as a courtesy officer at the complex. He approached a woman, as well as this man, 22-year-old Joseph Cifuentes, outside of one of the buildings. Police say Cifuentes pulled out a gun and fired 2 shots at the officer. The cop fired back but missed. Officers found Cifuentes inside an apartment with a few other people. He was arrested and charged with attempted capital murder. He's being held at the Hays County Jail. The officer was treated for his injuries at a hospital and is being listed as in good condition. A new Texas law will require convicted drunk drivers who kill parents to pay child support. The new law goes into effect very soon. Meredith Aldis has this story as well.
I believe it was exactly 12:36 a.m.
Cecilia Williams got a knock at her door.
I jumped up out of bed to find a state trooper and an officer standing at my door.
What they told her changed her life.
My son, Cordell, daughter-in-law, Lacey, and 4-month-old grandson were in a fiery crash and that they were unrecognizable. My husband came to me and said a drunk driver killed them.
She says she lost it, but she needed to be strong for her 2 grandchildren, Bentley and Mason, she's now taking care of.
It's hard on us as it is. So then we get the double, triple thousand heartache because we have to watch them suffer as well. And I believe that it's hitting Bentley harder than the beginning. He cries a lot. He cries a lot. He'll say, I miss my mom and dad.
She says she wants people who cause that sort of pain to be held accountable.
Child restitution. That's how they pay. They have to pay for the consequences of their action. And this is the only way to do it because these kids, they have no parents anymore. Their parents are gone, and that's unfair.
So working with local legislators, she drew up legislation that's become known as Bentley's Law. It'll require drunk drivers who kill parents to pay child support. Payments would begin a year after the defendant is released from prison and continue until all of the victim's surviving children turn 18.
We are locked up inside ourselves. We're not the same. We're not the same people that we used to be. So why shouldn't an offender who commits these senseless, preventable crimes be let off scot-free? And most of them get just 5 years probation. And there's no justice in that.
Williams says she hopes this legislation will help provide justice.
It is going to help families put food on the table for these extra mouths that they have to feed.
But a local attorney says it may be difficult for the person to be able to pay.
There's been lots of times where people are ordered to pay things that they cannot pay. And it ends up digging a hole for somebody who will never be able to have a good job, never be able to probably have a house or a car or anything because they have such huge debt. And so I think I could see that being the big problem. Is that yes, they're ordered and they have this huge judgment that they've got to pay, but they can't get a job to pay it.
Meredith Oldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
The Travis County Sheriff's Office says a man followed a woman from a gas station and tried to sexually assault her. Investigators were able to get some clear video and pictures of the suspect, and they're hoping someone watching can identify him. Meredith has this story as well. She finds officials are saying this is a good reminder that if something doesn't feel right or off, call 911.
An early morning suspicious situation. The man detectives are looking for found his victim a little after 6 in the morning on August 12th. A woman says she stopped at the 7-Eleven gas station at the corner of Wells Branch Parkway and I-35. A man in this black GMC Sierra 4-door crew cab was parked nearby. The woman says he followed her to her apartment complex. When he got there, he was reportedly nude, searching for the woman to sexually assault her. The woman was able to hide, preventing the assault. But the man wasn't able to hide from the cameras. Take a good look at his face. The Travis County Sheriff's Office needs help identifying him before he strikes again. If you know him or recognize him, 25 to 35 years old, tall, athletic build, with short hair and multiple tattoos, call the Travis County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
Finally, we end with the latest on the woman accused of killing her landlord, hiding his body, and renting out rooms in his Houston area home. Fox's Gabby Hart spoke with one of the tenants who says she was tricked into cleaning up the crime scene.
She basically killed this man, took over his house, and was living life like she was, the queen for quite a while.
In July of 2021, Tabitha Pope says 43-year-old Pamela Ann Merritt rented out a room to her that was inside of a home located at 605 West Clay Street in Houston. She claims Pamela told her the rent would be lowered if she cleaned the second and third floors of the home. All Tabitha knew at the time was that the owner of the home, 78-year-old Colin Cardaci, hadn't been seen since February 15th, 2021.
Very suspicious because the way their stories kept changing.
When Tabitha started cleaning the second floor, she found bins filled with blood that were hidden in a crawl space.
It just smelled like death.
And when she asked what it was, she says Pamela told her it was from rotten meat that had went bad during the freeze. But when Tabitha made it to the third floor, where Cardaci lived prior to his disappearance,
there was blood on the splatters on the wall. There was coagulated blood on the floor, throughout the room. On his bed, there was a big spot of blood.
That was on October 2nd, 2021. Tabitha called police. Officers came, took pictures, and then left.
Basically, they said no body, no crime.
But on December 6th, 2 months later, Tabitha found a body.
I was back here under the stairs.
The skeletal remains of Cardaci were found in the backyard. He'd been stabbed to death. And Tabitha says Pamela Merritt actually led her right to his remains.
I had mentioned to her that if they found Colin's body somewhere, then it wouldn't be a foreclosure. 2 days after that is when they let slip something about the dog corpse under the stairs. She's like, "Oh, you want to see it?" And she got all peppy. And I was like, "Sure." And she damn near skipped to the backyard. She stops and her face just, there it is, and turns around and walks away. So, I took one look at it and I just knew immediately it was a body.
What went through your mind in that moment?
Oh, she killed him.
Detectives and crime scene units investigated and removed the remains from the yard. No arrests were made. After they found the body, you still lived here?
Yes.
And so did Pamela?
Yeah.
Even though a body had been found?
Mm-hmm. At that point, I had nowhere else to go.
Tabitha says Merritt continued to live in the home until the summer of 2022, more than 1 year after Cardaci's death. Merritt wasn't officially charged with murder until May of 2023, and on August 18th, officers finally took her into custody. Gabby Hart, Fox 26 News.
Thanks for watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch YouTube exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. If you miss them, you can watch them anytime on our new Fox Local Connected TV app. It's free to download, and you can watch on Roku, Android TV, Apple TV, and Fire TV. For more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com, and don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel.